What is going on? Mr. B6000, aka Dallas, aka Inferness here, and when I was about to tuck myself into the couch that I sleep on, I check all my direct messages just to see if anything interesting landed up there in the time that I last did. But this time around it turned into something that I definitely did not expect because it includes rickrolling and a big fat scam. That's two things that I would love to eat in one big fat sandwich because it calls for a very interesting investigation. So this is the message that this all starts with, and this person decided to remain anonymous on the email side of things, but they went through the explanation of sharing how it started with an OfferUp product, which was a very basic OfferUp shoes product. It really wasn't anything to be all that suspicious about at first until, of course, going further into it, we see that the person wanted to actually contact them to do the deal on Discord, and that's never something that actually stands to be a good sign. As a matter of fact, it's always universally a red flag, because whenever someone wants to take the business of wherever the product that they're selling off of the official site to someplace else, it usually means that they're trying to do something sus and avoid the accountability of being punished or caught on the site itself. Discord is basically one of the main hubs of scams on the earth, basically. It's pretty much on the same status of Western Union and Telegram for the most part. So it was pretty clear to this person that at this point it was a scam, so instead of trying to go through with buying the sneakers, they wanted to actually try to troll the seller on Discord by sending them a link disguised as a rickroll. They even felt courteous enough to land some of the blame on me, either directly or indirectly. Maybe I need to put some legal disclaimer in front of every single one of the videos in order to stop something like this taking me to court. So this starting conversation seems pretty bland at first. They just ask about the $240 Nike sneakers, and the person replies, "Yes, thanks for contacting, it's $240, but there's actually, surprise, another $20 for shipping." Oh, okay. Do you always use Discord for this? And they said that they didn't, but to actually now send an additional $5 along with the additional $20 to the username on Cash App. Once again, bouncing off of a whole nother thing and going to someplace different. But things seem to keep going into a downward spiral as we continue, because the Glamoric account, which is the main perpetrator of the entire story that we have, was continued to be asked questions by our guy right here, Smiling Guy. "I am really thankful for your dedication. Seriously, you're making the world a better place. No, you mustn't use anything other than Cash App because increased fees and service of shipping purposes, you may use direct wire transfer for your bank, or you could straight through the app, or please hurry, I have a lot more clients. Hello," and it's once again the same type of urgency that we tend to see as a repeating pattern amongst all kinds of very disingenuous selling/scamming activities. So after claiming that the Wi-Fi router got a virus, Glamoric replied with, "Have you sent the payment? If not, your Cash App profile immediately." And this is asking for information beyond that of just payment. Never send anything online to someone you don't know, or you're going to get wrecked, or even possibly even more dangerously in a situation like this. This is the part where the Smiling Guy sent them the bit.ly URL, which goes straight to "never gonna give you up." It's not really that clever of a technique, but it definitely does do the trick. But after this, it doesn't have to be said that Glamoric got a little bit upset. After this, our main guy was added into a group chat with another Discord user by the name of Rhinoceros, in which Glamoric decided to show their true colors and start directly confronting our main protagonist. Rhinoceros then steps into the chat out of nowhere and just bluntly copies and pastes the exact address of living that our main protagonist has, which was actually accurate, passively with a very scary smile face, and then proceeds to kindly tell them that they are effed. According to Smiley Guy's direct testimony to me, they decided to pretend that it wasn't their address in order to see if it was just one big bluff, but it didn't seem like Rhinoceros was taking that all too kindly. "You've made a big mistake. We don't mess around with our business." From this point on, it's basically like a foosball table with our main guy, who's the hero of our story, being tossed around multiple times. The real only rational thing to do in this situation, when you're actually in it, would be to ditch any kind of attempt that you have at trying to bait any of these people further into revealing their scam. Rhinoceros then claims that our main protagonist, Smiley Guy, goes to elementary school, but then corrects himself into saying it's actually a school right next to that, proceeding to say, "LMAO, lame child, what do you bench?" And then Glamoric, entering back with fire and fury, decides to use the legendary racism trap card, which is always a good one. Smiling Guy, for some reason, is still in here trying to take on the immense power of these two lunatics. So Smiley Guy just wants to know what's going on and asks these people to prove the fact that of all the accusations that they're saying. Rhinoceros, the main alpha of the pack, seems to not really want anything to do with it, and continues to then divulge even more scarily accurate information. But Smiley Guy is still not giving up, apparently, because he says, "I already knew that, you do not have to tell me," after Rhinoceros accurately copies and pastes both the private and public IP of his computer. Glamoric then says, "We're wanted for multiple murders, you shouldn't mess with us, pal." Which has to be either the most scary and or cringe thing I've ever heard at the same time anyone say on the internet. "Shut up, I don't care," says Smiling Guy, clearly not having any idea what he's getting into. Glamoric, who'd your parents vote for? According to what Smiley Guy had taken screenshots of and his personal testimony, someone entered the group chat called Sand and then had immediately left right after because unexplained reasons. Rhinoceros basically is going to continue to harass Smiling Guy without any actual reason. It seems like they're either 9 years old or actually an adult with learning disabilities. Smiling Guy just desperately then asks for the sneakers that he wanted originally, even though he very well knew at that point that it most certainly was not a real thing. Glamoric then steps in and offers a revelation of sending them $5,000 and they wouldn't do anything to them. "How can I believe you?" Smiling Guy says. It should be also known that at this point, Smiling Guy, for whatever reason, decided it was necessary to manually, like, bring in one of their own friends on Discord, because apparently Discord just allows you to bring anyone you want into some group chat as long as you're friends with them without their permission. So now enter Dan E. Dan E enters with a swift "WTF, bro, why did you bring me here?" Rhinoceros randomly says that he's a Jew too, and Glamoric still seems to really be adamant on trying to find out who Smiling Guy's parents had voted for. So at this point, this group chat has revealed multiple expository and doxing level information. We're literally at the status of having this guy's entire personal portfolio of existence being at the hands of whoever these so-called appearing to be malicious people. Dan E, the friend of Smiling Guy, leaves the group after urging Smiling Guy to do the same. "Y'all on trip if you don't think you're gonna pay for wasting my time now." Then Glamoric doubles down on his previous statement and says, "Please pay or else. I got connections, you don't know me." And then right after that, Rhinoceros suggests, "Let's just get the son of a butches." But Smiling Guy leaves the chat. Alright, so the main takeaway here is that this is pretty much just the exact plot of Home Alone 7, starring the Two Stooges and Kevin McAllister. And right after this, Glamoric's account, which was the main instigator of this whole thing, was supposedly deleted, and all the messages were effectively gone, just for him to be resurrected a couple of days later, according to what Smiley Guy had said. And they then proceeded to still come back to texting Smiley Guy. Smiley Guy then told him that he got reported, before Glamoric got completely ghosted by saying all of this afterwards. "I'm going to need my money." And to remind you, this all started with a single rickroll. But a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, rickrolling was not taken so harshly to, and it was actually just a really kind and not offensive thing to do. Along with not attempting to go put yourself at harm's way by infiltrating some kind of a offer-up scam. Even if chances are it's not going to end up as ridiculous as this, it's not something that you should be trying to do in your spare time anyways. Thanks for tuning into this episode of What Would You Do? And I will see you in the next one. My name is Dallas, aka Infernus, aka Thetekkitrealm, aka Mr. Beast 6000. And until next time, have a good day. Goodbye.